Good morning. Happy rising, family. Yeah, for good morning, it's morning. We're not morning, no. So happy rising. And, well, I felt like chatting a bit more because my last video was maybe a bit, um, well, I shared some things from my truth in this moment. And maybe it's a bit shocking to some of you out there. But just take in what resonates, remember that. And I'm not sharing an absolute truth. I'm merely sharing my soul experiences, and what it does for me. And that's why I was hammering so much about getting to 0 point, your harmonic 0 point, because it's so wonderful to become the observer of this game and just have fun with it. It's important to stay playful and have fun with it. Well, me personally, I have decided to no longer give my energy to the game through my creation, how you call it, powers. Well, my earth and things, I merely keep them to myself now, just to make my heart happy and, well, create something for someone else if they want me to. And, well, that, yeah. Yeah, and remember, what you believe to be true will manifest itself on the outside screen. You will experience it. Like I told you in the video before that, I spoke out the words, I no longer want to be afraid of the dark, and I want to, conquer the dark. Well, so I created that for myself. And yeah, I met so many, let's call them shadow beings, entities, and lots of stuff. And in the end, it all came down to, just being my heart and know that I can alchemize literally everything they fire at us through the heart. The heart is the alchemizer. The heart is truly the alchemizer. So you take it into your heart, you alchemize it, you bring it down to your 0 point, your harmonic 0 point, your source within, and then you send it down through your feet into the void, where it becomes formless. And we can do that with everything, but you have to believe it. You have to believe it. And yeah, another example, if you believe there will be interference, or oh, they are after me, or the dark ones are coming after me, or they are disturbing my channel, or whatever, and I'm experiencing troubles because of that. I believe that is because you are sending your energy there. You are experiencing something, on your website or on your page or blog or channel, and you automatically think it has to do with, well, let's call them the dark ones, the elite AI interference, you know. If you believe that, it will grow, it will become bigger. But if you don't think anything of it at all, you know, just observe, and then nothing will happen, because it's not something you give your energy to. Because I've shared things, you know, I've talked about certain subjects, and also in the titles of my videos, and it's okay, you know, I don't have interference. And while others, you know, have videos with the same titles, or a bit different, but the same, and they experience interference. So why is that? Is that because they believe that that is a possibility? They believe that that is true, and they give their energy to it, and it becomes bigger. So, you know, that is why I am repeating myself and telling you to let go of the stories, all the narratives and identities, and just be in the stillness of yourself, where there are no thoughts and there's just peace. And everything that comes, you know, just observe it. Don't become a part of it. Just observe it, you know. And if it does anything to you, you know, if you're on the path towards your harmonic 0 point, you know, we have our moments when we go towards the constant state of being in harmonic 0 point. When we go towards that, we have our moments, you know, sometimes just a moment, sometimes a few hours, and sometimes a couple of days you're in that, you know, stillness within, that harmonic 0 point, where you become the observer and nothing can trigger you. You know, you just have fun. And yeah, I just felt like expressing myself about that subject, you know, where you send your energy, what you believe to be true becomes bigger, you know. Yeah. And I believe I can alchemize everything, everything, everything they try to fire upon us. I can alchemize it, all of it, including the new frequencies and the new AI 5G programs, and just a fun example. Here in the street we have those new lanterns, you know, that are part of the control system. And spy AI operating system, and it can send out frequencies also, you know, and mind control also. That is what I believe now to be true. For I was walking, you know, it does something to your blood, and but you can alchemize that, you know. I believe we can alchemize everything through the heart. Believe, 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 believe. So I was walking past those lanterns here in the street, And when I was doing my round with the dogs, well, I have 2 dogs now. Yeah, I will show you. I will show her to you later. And so I was doing my round, and I always walk not under them, but you know, take the other side of the street. So I was walking past them, and there was coming this frequency, very, you know, like the AI disturbing frequency sound coming into my ear. Yeah, Marley. It was coming into my ear. And I was like, oh, that's coming from the lantern. Well, let's stand still for a moment and let's alchemize it. So I took it into my heart, you know, into my source center, and let it, you know, become formless through my feet into the void, and transform it into unconditional love. And the sound was gone. And then I walked along, and there was another lantern, and the same peep. So I stood still for a moment and did the same thing. And it only takes about 10 seconds, you know. You just observe, take it in, alchemize it with your heart, you know, bring it to 0 point and into the void, make it formless. Change it into unconditional love. And so I did it with several lanterns here in the street, and it's gone now. There's no frequency coming from the lanterns. So, you know, we are the creators. We are the alchemizers. We are the alchemists. That's how powerful we are. And, you know, so, yeah, just felt like sharing that. You know, remember to have fun. And don't care about others or what they may think of you, you know. I don't care about the neighbors here. You know, what if one of them saw me standing there in the street, you know, doing my thing with the lantern? You know, my brother, my brother mirrored me back that, you know, that it must have been so funny for the ones who are still, you know, very into the conditioning and into the matrix. And they see me standing there, standing still at every lantern, doing my thing. And yeah, but you know, it's not important what another thinks of you. It's important that you love yourself, and that you stand in your truth, and that you believe in your power, and that you are very wise about where you focus your energy. And, you know, let go of stories, let go of identities. And, you know, that is why I don't read books. And I love it that you know, I told you about my sister Lolita, who guided me to go to the void. But that's a way, you know, that's a way. And I needed to go in that way. And, but all is within, you know, but I trust her. She came on my path 7 years ago, and she has guided me, you know, in several moments where I was just like, not just losing a direction, just losing, you know, that feeling of, oh, come and get me, I've had it. And then she would just share something, and I was like, oh, thank you, Lalit. So I trust her very deeply. Yeah, why am I going there? Oh yeah, about the different perceptions and the truth that is within. And yeah, and so I decided to do that with her, because it was, the synchronicity was there between us in the same moment. And she had a different perception than me about the void. And I just wanted to go there with her to experience, well, what the difference in perception was and why there was that difference in perception. Why? Because I felt it was, you know, the void is the portal to infinity, you know, and we are infinity. And she was like, no, yeah, it's no, it stops there. It stops there. And I was like, no, that doesn't resonate. So that is why I wanted to do that journey. But another sister here in the Netherlands, in this moment I have this beautiful triangle between a brother and a sister, and we are just this beautiful, we are constantly mirroring each other, you know. And I was talking to my brother about the void, and, you know, and the feeling it gives you, and, you know, the difference in love. If you're part of that, become that fluid fully, and, you know, it's just so much love. And he was like, I want to go to that void. And then he was talking to, within the triangle, the two sisters and him. He was talking to my other sister. And she had this beautiful, beautiful moment in which she reflected back to him that we all have our inner world, you know, our inner creation bubble, in a way. And there we have something. There's something present there. For me, it was a tree, but for my brother, it was a volcano, a dark black volcano. And for me, it was a tree. And I went into the tree from above, and then in the center of the tree is my creative space, you know. That's the best way to describe it. And when I go down to the tree, to the roots, that was the place where I would sit on dark roots that needed my love and light, you know, that I needed to alchemize, you know, programs. And then portals would open, and I just, you know, would go into the program and alchemize it. So I did that. And he has this volcano, you know, and he went into the volcano some time ago, and he came across, you know, if we go down into the darkness, he came across all his conditioning, his programs, traumas, etc., etc. And so, you know, we all have our own unique way of going into the void, you know. And we all have our own unique perception. And but what Lalita told me that resonates with me is that you have to be very conscious that if you go into the void, that you don't have anything, you know, hanging around, you know, attachments or programs that are still active, or, you know, entities that you don't want them, you know, well, I guess find out your unique pathway to the void, something like that. Or maybe that's an illusion too, I don't know. I don't know. It's just something that resonates, but it's not an absolute truth. And yeah. So, you know, I talked about that before, you know, you just... Eventually you don't have to meditate anymore. You know, you meditate a period, but we all have our own unique ways of meditating. You know, I was always in nature. Nature was my way, the animals. And I would sit with a tree or in the water, but always with the elements. But I've done it a period of time. And a lot, you know, like 3-6 hours a day when my body was so sick. But But now it's just I'm in this constant meditative state. So it's different for everybody, you know. You don't have to meditate, you know. Maybe there's something you do, like when I'm creating art, I'm meditating, you know. When I'm walking with my dogs, so it's, you know, it's not a, you know, it's not an absolute truth, or there's no absolute way of coming home to your 0 point. But the way is inside of you, and you have to open a door to your soul space, your heart space, how you want to call it, your source field, and that starts with visualization. And so that's a very fun way. You just visualize a door. You open the door, and you just walk in and look around, and what have you already created there? And yeah, and there you will find, you know, it's like a safe place where you can travel and go back to. And yeah, and eventually you don't need that anymore, you know. Also, you are just, well, I don't know, constantly in that feeling of emptiness and harmony and peace, and the longing for stories and identities, and it just disappears. The stillness is so wonderful. Yeah. Yeah. So there's not one absolute truth when it comes to the void, and I just felt like sharing that. And yeah, and I guess for me, why I had that synchronicity with Lolita, and I decided, you know, let's go with her to the void. Yeah, let's do that shamanic, what is it, that journey. And I know now why I needed to do that, because I've been out of my body most of my life, you know. Let's call it dimension hopping, but I was out of my body because I didn't like it here, and it was my way of coping. And the crown chakra was fully open. And well, and nature and the elements and the animals helped me through it. And then in 2012, I told you before, I was forced into my body, literally, because it became so very, very sick. And at the same time, you know, the darkness came, because I called upon it, you know. I set the intention. So, but I had a lot of shattered pieces. I don't know, maybe it's different for everyone, but I had a lot of shattered pieces. My soul pieces were truly everywhere. And so I've been through so many, well, dimensions, dark experiences, because I needed to, you know, that was my way. It was my way. And where was I going with that? Where was I going with that? Oh yeah. Why I decided to do the void, that journey with Lolita. Well, you know, I did all the work, and you could say I repaired all my roots. If I look at my tree in my inner world, I repaired all the dark roots of the tree, and below the roots of the tree, you know, there is that field I saw. Well, it's not a field yet, but it's like little bubbles, like cells with a little spark in it, and there comes this frequency, and that frequency forms that geometry that we don't even know here. In all is geometry based, I guess, and well, I saw that, and to me it was like, well, that's you know, an original source field we are creating with each other. But now I'm like, no, it's like I was restoring. Well, I'm not sure yet. No, I'm not gonna, I'm not, it will come to me, you know? I'm not sure about that yet, but it will become clear. But anyway, below that, I could see the void, you know, that dark mass. For me, it's a dark mass of water, substance, water, plasma, substance. And I saw it going clockwise. And well, because I was in harmonic 0 point, you know, in peace within myself, I was just like, you know, all is okay, you know. What's there left to do? And so now I realize that's, you know, I was like, well, that's the doorway to the infinity. And once I die, I will jump through there and I will go, you know, back home. But I haven't been a part of it yet, you know, so I wasn't a part of it. So it was even deeper than deeper, but it's all within. It's so fun. It's always within. And now I know why I didn't felt the need to go even deeper, you know, and become a part of that void. Because if you want to become a part of that void, I guess, you have to, you know, fully dissolve your body into nothingness. And then you can become the nothingness. And I had worked so hard to rebuild my body, reset all the organs, you know. I worked so hard to, well, heal it. So, you know, and the thought of, you know, just dissolving it fully, I guess that was the last step I needed to take. And I needed Lolita to hold the space for me while I was just, you know, dissolving everything into nothingness. And going to the depths of the void, the absolute dark. And so you, and then after you rebuild your body step by step again, and then it's, you know, there's this, you just feel great. You feel so great, even better than before. And then it's yeah, it's like a well, you know. So that is why I needed to make the journey with Lolita. Yeah. Yeah. So I felt like sharing that. I felt like sharing that. And yeah, and just, you know, remember how powerful you are, and you can alchemize everything. Love is the alchemizer. Your heart is the alchemizer. And but don't forget to, you know, bring it to your 0 point, your center source, and then, you know, bring it down to the void. And yeah, it's, for me, it's like I'm now constantly, I'm just, the void is below me. If I'm sitting, walking, it's constantly below me. And yeah, that's so fun. Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah. Well, that's how powerful you are. And and be very conscious about where you bring your energy towards. Yeah. In the now, I'm just like, why not just take all the programming that is, you know, take all the programming. If you still have programming, you take it all and alchemize it in your heart and make it formless in the void, you know. Or do we truly have to take all the steps, you know? Or was that also another story, New Age story? Or are we that powerful that we can just take all the programs, bam, 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 alchemize it in our heart, bam, make it formless in the void? Yeah? Try it, you know? Just do it. Believe it. Believe it, you know? Yeah. Well, that's it for now. And, well, she's sleeping now. I will place a picture so you can see our new love, our new family member. Or maybe I can just, let me see if I can show her to you now. Oh, and she did great her first night. Look, yeah, there she is. She did great. And Tony, show yourself. Hi, sweetheart. There is Tony. Yeah. Oh, sweetie pie. So there was no crying, and Marley did his best. He was holding the space, you know, and being love. And there we have Marley. Oh, yeah. My old one. Hey, sweetheart. So, het is goed, schat. Het is goed. Yeah. So, well, so we are very happy with our new little lady. And, well, she needs some time, you know, to adjust. And, but we have cuddled already on the couch last night. She was coming, you know, she's coming to me. And I gave her some, you know, shiatsu energy work. And so she had a lot of tension in her little body, and she, well, it could release itself. And she was just snoring and totally relaxed. So, yeah, it will all work out fine. And we did a walk yesterday, and she listens very, very good. So she stayed with the pack. So, yeah, very grateful for our new little girl, Tony. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to share for today. And yeah, well, lots of love to you all. And well, be the magician that you are and be the alchemist that you are. You know, you got this. Yeah, we got this.